Buckle up. This is Sarabian and Lawhorn's Musicians and Beyond, where we bring in the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. Last week we had Joel Hoekstra, and what a resume this guy has. He's a lead guitarist for Cher, Night Ranger, Foreigner, White Snake, Rock of Ages, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. He's been on all kinds of television shows. So if you missed that episode, go back and check out the episode with Joel Hoekstra. Give him a follow and support his incredible music endeavor. Today, what a treat we have here. We have two treats, but the main show right here is Jimmy MacWilliams. Jimmy, welcome.
What's going on, man? I can't believe you brought me on after Joel. That's a hell of a shoes I have to fill.
Well, no, if anyone can do it, it's you.
I appreciate the confidence.
I mean, I've seen you play. We got the pleasure of meeting each other a few months back up at Seabrook Idol. And since Seabrook Idol, your career has really, taken off and blown up. Let's hear what's going on.
I mean, I've been working with a few people from, Seabrook Idol that have been great. I had people that were, judging that were the reason I won, which was awesome to have their support, that have been as hands-on as I could be. So we have Jay, who's been getting me busy with as many gigs as I can, and Mike Puto, who's I think he calls me like twice a day to try to figure out what we're doing for a photo shoot or the parade or getting covers in or originals, stuff like that. So between gigging and trying to get things, the EP that I already had in motion finished, and then future projects they want to do, it's been busy, which is good. I went from looking for more work to do to we're getting to a point. I'm not going to say we're going to start saying no to things, but I'm just not going to sleep, I guess.
Right. Well, to make it in the music industry, you have to have the talent, which obviously you do, but the networking part of it is huge. I mean, you've met so many people and done so many things because of the networking that we've been able to do, including this. I mean, this is probably the highlight of your career right now, right?
This is it. I always dreamed of being on the Musicians and Beyond podcast, and I can't believe I'm here.
That's it. See, you dream and it will happen.
This is it.
That's awesome. So you are originally from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And how do you find your way to New England?
So my family is from, my dad's side of the family is from here. So my great-grandfather was the head architect of Massachusetts. So he lived his whole life in Newburyport, and my grandfather grew up here. He ended up raising my family in New Jersey, and my dad and my uncle vacationed up to Newburyport, Seabrook Beach, basically down the street from where we are. And my dad did the same thing for me. And once COVID hit, my dad moved up here, and we came up here visiting just more and more. And I was like, I think this is the place to kind of settle down. It was a little too hustle and bustle down in Jersey, which I loved, but I think this felt a little more homey, and happened for a reason. I met her once I came up here. So.
Well,
but
you did all right, kid.
I know, right? Yeah. So this place has always been, it felt like home every time I came up here. So I wanted to live up here for a little while, and I love being up here.
You're never going back except this weekend to visit.
Except for this weekend, yeah.
You're just going to visit. Awesome. And musically, what's the difference between New Jersey and here for you? You found that, being in New England, it's a better platform for you to kind of launch yourself?
I think up here, I didn't grow up by the water in Jersey. I traveled a lot to go more towards the beaches, and I felt like the closer you get to the beach, the more music you get, more art you get, and being closer to that here, everyone here was super, they like music down in Jersey, but up here, it's definitely been more open arms to new artists and hearing new things and encouraging like the local guy to do well. So everyone is like, I met people that are now like my friends and like extended family that are showing up to all my gigs and like, try this person. I'm going to call the manager of this place. I know the restaurant owner over here. Everyone welcomes it. Everyone was like root for the local hometown hero, which is awesome. So I found my niche in both little spots, and my music style hasn't changed, but the people that I'm playing to are a lot more receptive to it up here.
Right. And how would you describe your music style?
I have such a hard time figuring that out. Country, I've always loved country. I like singer-songwriter type of, I grew up with like James Taylor, Lyle Lovett, like John Mayer, sitting with like a carpet on a bar stool playing an acoustic guitar was like my style that I grew up with. So I like the country, I like the singer-songwriter, I like the folk style, acoustic rock I've heard now. So it's hard to find exactly what genre I like. I don't really know if I want to pigeonhole myself into one.
Right. I think that's a good way to go. Is just keep your options open and
try everything. Yeah, go to gospel next if this doesn't work. Go back.
Well, there's no one better than Michelle Brooks Thompson, who we saw up at Seabrook Council,
yeah.
talk about gospel singing, and she's incredible.
Yeah, it was also rude for us to have to sing after her. That wasn't nice.
Well, one thing I do notice about you, you are like extremely humble, and you're always supporting the other musicians. Like at the Seabrook Idol, every time someone came off the stage, you were the first one to go over. Great job, So, and that's huge in the music industry. One of our past guests, their advice to up-and-coming musicians was, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And you got that memo because, you treat everyone like the way you want to be treated. So that's cool.
I appreciate that that's something you can pick up on. I don't think this area, this music industry, it's, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, the little of it that I have, I'm not in stardom yet, hopefully, maybe one day, but it seems to be there's a lot of real estate, and I feel like people treat it like there's a finite resource for success, and I don't want to look at it like there's this one hunk of gold that we're all fighting for. I think we can all, music is music, and I know this was a competition in Seabrook Idol, and only one person wins, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all there making music and promoting ourselves and making art. Like, I thought that whole thing should be a party. Like, it's going to come down to two people aren't going to make it in the next round. So every time you come up, if you have a stage to sing on, this was like, you made it. So especially again in the finals too, that was like the night that I did feel the most relaxed until like the very end. But it was like, you see young kids like Gavin Morengi's up there. He's freaking 16 years old. And it's awesome to see local kids like that are like, hey, he's going to freaking kill it. He's going to go down to Nashville and have a killer career. And I hope to one day we can do open up for, who knows, like a venue in like MSG or something together. Like, that's the dream. It's not chopping knees out. It's not that kind of, I don't know. We're all winning. You're making music, you're making art, like everyone's enjoying it. It's how can you, I don't know. I didn't see it as a point to be like, I'm going to chop people's knees out from under them. It seemed like, why not celebrate it? And everyone there is so freaking nice. It's how, I don't understand he could be mean to anyone there. Chris Gendron was like, he's like my brother in that competition. I was talking to him every
He loves
day.
you, by the way. He was one of our past guests too, and he couldn't stop talking about you.
He's so easy to root for. He's so like nice, and that country town kind of feel. Like, everyone there was so welcoming. It was like, it didn't feel like a competition. Everyone just went up and sang, and it was like, are you on the schedule next week or not? And that was it seemed like the most comfortable. It's the only way I know how to make sense of it.
In the end, pretty much everyone won.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone, especially the people that I was talking to, everyone made it really far, and everyone got a lot of opportunity, and it got busier and busier at the restaurant. So everyone had like a pretty decent size, like, population sample that I hear their music, and I know they get more gigs now. I saw Chris down at the Cave a couple weeks ago, and I know Gavin's like freaking selling out arenas, whatever the hell he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Coming out with his third album.
Yes.
So, yeah, everyone's doing pretty darn well.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think you're going to collaborate with any of these musicians that you met recently?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I would love to get it. I don't know if it whether it be like a cover or write something. Yeah, I would have no problem doing that with anyone. I know I talked to Neely for a short while, who was the runner-up. She killed it, who easily deserved to have won also. She killer pipes. So she would be cool to work with. Chris is definitely in my style. I'd love to. Gavin just loves to sit down and plug away in a notebook and just write, and that's my style. I love just making music, the whole process of it, and he seems to be in love with it. So I would love to work with any of them.
Cool. So you're a singer and a songwriter. Mm-hmm. How do you write songs?
It depends. It a lot of times I'll be driving in a car or in like just the shower or something, and something kind of stands out. It feels like all the emotion that you can't speak out or work out. It's just kind of extra emotion that doesn't find its outlet anywhere. It seems to be that music is that last little, like, you can release it that way. So I'll just sit and play and hear something that sounds catchy and like a little lick on guitar, and then something comes out that like, I didn't know I wanted to write a song about that, but I guess
kind of build on it. Now, are they all from personal experiences or?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, yeah, anything I've come across. I mean, it could be about people I've crossed paths with in life, like family members. They've gone through things, and I think it's like a good outlet for, I don't know, maybe them to hear or for me to hear. I've written songs about my life. I've written songs that are like kind of I wish I heard when I was going through something. It depends, or just about life in general, or music, or not. I don't know. Just anything that seems relatable to me, and if I can write it well enough, it'll be relatable to someone else, and that's the hope.
Fantastic. All your songs are awesome, I'm sure, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but do you have a favorite song that you wrote?
Yeah, it's like picking a, well, I don't know if it's the equivalent of picking a child. My first one I wrote, I loved it because it was the first thing I ever made that was like catchy, and I love that one. I play that relatively regularly at gigs and whatnot. I've written some really recently that were just very influential on my life that I liked a lot. I think my number one is probably a song called Drive that I wrote pretty recently. It seemed like I was kind of finding my groove and writing some things. So.
Okay, cool. Well, let's listen to Jimmy MacWilliams, Drive, and then you can tell us how you come up with the lyrics.
Sounds good. Take me back to the night when we first met, and cherry lips and a smile on that silhouette. Not a painting could have outshined you that day. I would sit in a corner, watch us begin, watch the room fade away while we drank gin. I would tell them both that I know they'd be okay. I drive through hell and back, I drive so I could ease your pretty mind. 'Cause I see this road ain't always easy. We'll have nights where it's cold and we'll be both up on the floor. What shakes us, I promise you won't break us. 'Cause in this life you come the cooling weather and the storm. So I know I take that right. So do you want me to try? If ever there were a world dark to its core, I'd find you searching for gold upon its floor. 'Cause in a world of silence, you'd find the words to speak. One night is all that I would need. One night for a lifetime on repeat. 'Cause I see this road ain't always easy. We'll have nights where it's cold and we'll be both up on the floor. What shakes us, promise you won't break us. 'Cause in this life you come the cooling weather and the storm. So I know I take that right. 'Cause I've been ill-equipped to love the way you love me. But I've done the best I could. Mission bells call me to mend the road that's left before us. I hope you know I would. I hope you know I could. 'Cause I see this road ain't always easy. We'll have nights where it's cold and we'll be both up on the floor. What shakes us, Promise you won't break us. We'll have nights where it's cold and we'll be pulled up on the floor. So I know I take that right. So do you want me to try?
That's Drive with Jimmy MacWilliams. Fantastic, dude.
Thanks, man.
How do you come up with that?
I think I just being a pretty overly romantic, affectionate person, as my girlfriend says, and I think just hitting a stride in your life where you feel like this is the place I'm supposed to be, whether it's being up in Salisbury, up in Mass, up in New Hampshire, and up here playing for you guys and finding my stride with that. And I felt like I came up here for a purpose, and everything about being up here made me stronger, and it felt like I came here for a reason. And it has been the hardest, most stressful, terrifying part of my life, and it has been the most rewarding thing ever. And I felt like I found my groove, and found more of a purpose for what I already felt this is where I'm supposed to be in music. And then found like the best person I could imagine being with and a partner, and was like, I think we're gonna take this road together, so we're gonna make the ride.
Wow.
Drive.
Wow, I love it. And there she is right there,
Yep.
Miss Ashley.
Yep, she keeps
Your,
me on
your
track.
biggest fan. She's always there cheering you on.
She is. She shows up everywhere. She's my fan. She's my manager. She runs this. Otherwise, I'd be like playing in the sidewalk or something.
And she's going to be the banker when everything hits big.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna play guitar. She's gonna do the finances.
Yeah. 2 for me, 1 for you.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
how, something
Yeah,
like
probably. Yeah, 90-10.
Good for you, Ashley.
That sounds fair.
that. Good for you. Fantastic. So you're no stranger to, kind of, I want to say stardom. I mean, you won the Seabrook Idol and whatever.
Yeah.
But also you run The Voice, which just to be on The Voice is an amazing feat.
Yeah, it was a ride. Definitely, it made me. I don't want to say it validified like my confidence in music, because I always thought it was good and I had something, but I always felt like that gave me some more. Like, all right, maybe it's enough that people are going to recognize it. Not to say that anyone else's value should be adding to mine, but it made me feel great, because I remember getting there and hearing the musicians that did show up. I was like, this is insane. Like it's like everyone had a superpower. You just go talk to other people, hear how they play, how they write, what kind of music they've made, and it was insane. Everyone there was absolute top notch. So just to be invited there was awesome, and I got to meet the judges or I should say the coaches for that season, and they gave me good feedback, and I felt like I came back with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, a little bit of like, all right, how bad do you want it? Like, this is like, it's easy when you're getting yeses to just be like, oh, this is where I want to be. How bad do you want it when you're being told no? But it felt like I had to really hone in to be at the level that everyone else was at. So I came back with like I think I have a little something extra now. So it was awesome. It was a crazy experience. I'm super glad they even considered me. Didn't have some things go my way, like song choice and whatnot, but aside from that, it was a good time, and I definitely benefited from. I have no bad blood. My family might a little, but I have no bad blood with the experience.
Well, a common theme between our guests and a lot of musicians are, you have to be prepared for the word no.
Yeah.
A lot, and you can't take it to heart.
Yeah.
Like Jay Passaro says, no doesn't mean no forever. No means no for right now.
Yeah.
So you're persevering, and how did you take all the constructive criticism between Seabrook Idol and being on The Voice?
I mean, it felt like it gave me a little bit of navigation. All my singing career, I didn't have proper training or anything. It was just going out and doing gigs. So I'd go out, do gigs, and I learned things and figured things out. My licks and how I played got better, and how I sang got better. I got more relaxed, was hitting better notes, getting a broader range, but I didn't have like anything else you do in life. Jiu-jitsu, I do that. It's like, all right, here's what we're gonna work on for today. There was none of that for music. It was like just keep playing, figure it out. So for them to let's say like, all right, we love the skills you have here. Don't rely on them too much. Here's a little bit more navigation. Maybe ease back with this. Maybe let the voice do a little bit less work. Let the guitar carry itself a little bit more in some spots. It just gave me a little bit more structure to what I was doing. So it's interesting going about this where like your only instructor is just your experience. So to have someone say like, all right, here's my actual direct input. Do this more, do this less. It just made me feel like, one, they were verifying the things that like, you sound great, you have good voice, you have power, here's how you control it. Made me feel like, all right, I'm doing this well, and now I have something to work on. And it felt like it was just nice to have someone care enough to give me some insight.
Right. So you're at a fairly high level. How do you take yourself to the next level?
I think marketing is a big one. I've never been a big marketer. I just want to play, and whoever wants to listen, I feel great when people do. But there's definitely a realistic aspect of like getting people to listen to you, and like there's ways to kind of broaden your net so you can get more people to kind of get sucked into your music, which is a big part of it. And then I need to find my spot that everyone can kind of latch onto. You know, I have my way of, I've always written music in like one bedroom apartments, and I'm playing to like my living room. So I wrote songs tailored to living room music. I need to get stuff that is like, how do I get 1,000 people moving around, or 10,000 people, or whatever your goal is, whatever venue I'm playing at. So I need to tailor it to what kind of audience do I want, and how do I keep that audience entertained. So that's like what I'm trying to figure out exactly what my goal is there. I know I want to be heard by a lot of people, but there's ways about doing that, and I got to figure that part out.
What is your end goal? Like 5 years down the road, where do you want to be? And then 10 years down the road, where do you think you want to be?
5 years down the road, I mean, I'm 29. I think in 5 years, if I put my head down and did this as hard as possible and made sure that I tailored up everything, tightened all the bolts and polished up everything I could, and just kept writing, kept creating, kept making more stuff, is getting nominated for something, getting a Grammy. I don't know how, I know the odds are not in your favor at that point, but I feel like I can make it to that level in 5 years, which would be awesome. And having venues where I'm playing to a good 5,000-10,000 people would be great. In 10 years, my overall goal is to have like the top like wedding song of that year or a couple years, like something that, there's musicians now that are younger, and there's like people our age that listen to it, and my grandparents know them and they love the music, like something that's a generational, like that was like such a well-written, doesn't have to be a ballad, but something that was like, that's a classic song. They delivered a good message, they sang it extraordinarily well, and they made it so everyone of all different populations, age, race, where you're from, everyone was like, all right, that's a great song. Everyone knows that song, like Stevie Wonder, Superstitious, something like that.
Right.
Like everyone loves that. Like that's the goal.
And are you prepared for the day that happens, or if it happens, or when it happens?
Am I prepared? Hell no. I have no idea. To get to that point, I'm trying to, lay my bricks down so I can get to that point where I can build that level of, music and albums and tours and things like that. Am I prepared for like having a phone call saying like you made it, or you're nominated, or we're not just doing like Stone Pony in Jersey, we're gonna go have you play at Prudential Center or at TD Garden? Like, can you get a set ready for that, for like a tour? That would be,
that's awesome. Yeah, like we talked earlier, I mean, it takes a lot out of the family, and it takes a special kind of person to be with a musician, and it takes a special kind of person to be the actual musician themselves out on the road for sometimes months on end.
Yeah, you definitely have to lose your mind a little bit. You have to be a little bit off kilter from what the standard status quo is from society. But I love it. Like I can't imagine just going to do your normal job and not having that extra something on the side. And I'm lucky enough that I have people around me that are like, without it, my parents were the only parents I knew that were like, why do you like, all right, you got your degree, don't go get a job, just do your music. You have that as a backup plan. And Ash, who's like she's ready to. She didn't sleep last night. She drove me back home from a gig. Like, we're gonna figure it out. You can do. Don't say no to anything. We're gonna figure out a way to get everything done. And it, I would do this if I was alone, but faster alone, farther together. I cannot be more grateful to have the people in my life that are like, we're gonna figure it out. We'll find a way.
Awesome. Are you prepared for this? Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And do you have a favorite song that Jimmy has written?
Drive is one of my favorites because, spoke about dedicating that one to me a little bit. Cali Coast was the first one he made for me, so I do have a bias towards that one.
Okay.
And Threads is probably my other favorite just because he was speaking about the idea of threads and like heartstrings and all that. And so, that'd be a really good song title. And so we kind of took that and ran with it. So.
Guess that's the next one, huh?
Awesome. That's a good segue right there. Jimmy MacWilliams.
I've taken drinking as a hobby, sleeping in late. Coffee and ketamine swim in my veins. I hear tomorrow's got an answer. I don't have it hidden me to wait. I heard the dogs are out to get me, and I better for the line. The suit's down on 42 won't take me alive, 'cause I know no dollar in my pocket will ever make its way to the pearly gates. So I got a feeling deep in my soul, life on a tire road that's guiding me home. If heaven and hell stood still for a moment, I know I could hold onto heartstrings of paper while we lay in our bed, woven in stitches in your old cardigan. I'll keep my hope in sweater weather for the days that the beaches get cold. And that tattered old blanket and the fabrics of time, bruises and broken bones kept me alive. Every slip and I love, where did you go that it took us a sign? Time has aged anymore, honey, I ain't dead. So I keep my hope in my threads. I got my roots in Jersey pavement, therapists that come and go. Friends ask me where I'm headed, I said, hell if I know. I gotta keep up with the times. If I can, I'll take my sorry ass home. But if heaven and hell stood still for a moment, I know I could hold onto heartstrings and paper while we lay in our bed, woven in stitches in your old cardigan. I keep my hope in sweater weather for the days that the beaches get cold. And that tattered old blanket and the fabrics of time, bruises and broken bones kept me alive. Every slip and I love, where did you go that it took us this time? Time has aged and worn, honey, I ain't dead. So I keep my hope in my threads. Could be a fool or a dreamer, a believer trying to find his soul. But if heaven and hell stood still for a moment, I know I could hold onto heartstrings of paper while we lay in our bed, woven in stitches in your old cardigan. I'll keep my hope in sweater weather for the days that the beaches get cold. And that tattered old blanket and the fabrics in time, bruises and broken bones carry me in line. Every slip and I love, where did you go that it took as a sign? Simon says anymore, honey, I ain't dead. As long as my heart has a rhythm, I'll remember those words that you said. That I should hold on to my threads. I should hold on to my threads.
That was Jimmy MacWilliams, and we are Musicians and Beyond. Please go to all your social medias, give Musicians and Beyond a follow, find out where Jimmy's going to be. Jimmy, how do people find you?
Just my name, Jimmy MacWilliams. I have Instagram, TikTok, website. Website is probably the most accurate as far as dates. I put all my gigs on there, or at least someone does. And Instagram, I put a bunch of my originals or what's going on and stuff like that. So either Instagram or website, most accurate for finding out where I'm playing.
Awesome. JimmyMacWilliams.com. And you can see videos, listen to your songs, download them. Do you have swag yet?
Not yet. I need like a good, I mean, actually, no, I lied. She did make some t-shirts and I haven't had the the balls yet to bring them to a gig and say, take this. But I should start bringing some stuff out. I need some merch. I think I need like a good hat or shirt or underwear or something, you know?
Underwear. Nice. Nice. Anything will do, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Through your history or career as a musician, everyone has something to say. Have you gotten any good advice on being a musician, and what was it and who was it from?
Good advice, being a musician. I mean, I've had all my family tell me to, trust your gut and find your passion, and love what you do. You're not going to work a day, but I feel like the losing my mind aspect of it seemed to be the most comforting. Like, it feels like this is for something. Like, I always felt kind of crazy to go against the grain, and I have friends that work in finance and have their 9-to-5s and make a lot of money and do their computer work and go about their day, and they have great lives. And I felt like a psychopath that was like, I'm going to chase my rock star dreams. At 19, it seemed acceptable. Now I'm 29 and I'm still doing it, but it gave me comfort to know that, like, if you don't have that plan B, that's when real things start to happen. You can't have that safety net sometimes, and it's nice to have and it's comforting, but at some point you're going to have to let go and put everything into what you have to do, and it's terrifying. And there's Taylor Swift, Adele, Ed Sheeran, Andrew Lloyd Webber, whoever, it doesn't matter. Any artist of any kind, they're not average people. They're not like, let me see if this works. Oh, it got some momentum, let's keep going. They're psychopaths. They're lunatics to do what they do. It's terrifying, and it does not take an average level of effort or willpower or resilience. You are going to get kicked a lot. You're going to be told no a lot. You're going to be exhausted and put a lot of work into something, and you're going to be sitting there with nothing in the beginning, and like, I have no momentum, I have no traction, I'm not moving anywhere. Why am I still doing this? I have to be insane to just keep doing the same thing and think it's going to get somewhere. But eventually you get a little movement, you go an inch, and an inch goes to foot, to yard, to mile, and you're like, oh, it's actually working. And at that point it's easy, but you have to be a level of kind of psychotic to get to that point. And that kind of gave me comfort. Like, all right, I'm not crazy. I am crazy, but there's a reason.
Right. Was there an ooh yeah moment that you knew that you were getting traction?
It depends. There's different parts of, traction, like getting local gigs and getting money. When I first came up here, like, I was getting traction. Like, I was told a bunch of musicians, I was like, hey, I don't know anyone up here. I had a bunch of gigs down in Jersey. I played for like 8 to 10 years in that range. I know what I'm doing. but I'm cold calling people and they don't know who the hell I am. So if you're ever sick one day, let me come play for you. I'll fill in. And I got a ton of traction after I played my first gig, and that was great. And then I got a call from The Voice, and I was like, holy crap, really, that was a big jump. Because then I was getting traction from that from like a work standpoint, not from marketing. No one knew who I was yet, and it wasn't even televised, but I was getting traction and like getting my chops down for playing and writing and singing. And then coming back here, going to Seabrook Idol, local competition that I didn't honestly think too much of, that was so beneficial to how I play, especially if I have shorter gigs, and then how I prepare for sets before I go out there, and the marketing I got from that, and how to market better to get more gigs and get more future jobs lined up. It's just different traction. So it's hard to tell. I don't think there was any like crazy honestly, I think the biggest groundbreaking moment for my musical career was getting back from The Voice, getting told no. I felt like my world crumbled for like a million different reasons, and that was my like, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want to figure everything out? And it was like, all right, everything's shattered on the floor. Let's get to it. And just lay one brick at a time. And it felt like that was my true test of like how freaking bad. I'd say that a lot, but that's like all that went in my mind was like, how bad do you want this? It's easy to quit right now. Everyone's going to be like, you had a great run. You made it to The Voice. How can you be upset with that? And I wasn't upset with the experience, but I was like, I got more to me than that. And I felt like that was the moment that I was like, I want this so freaking bad. I've never been hungry.
There's a lot of people that quit when they hit that point.
Yeah.
But they never know what they would have had, but they
No.
do know what they didn't.
Yeah.
You know, what they had in the past.
100%. I don't think this is like for a second, I don't think for success in general, whether it's chess, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's music, it's not, I dodged and weaved failures and that person's a billionaire. They have to collect a shit ton of failures. They have to fail a lot. You have to get a certain amount of no's. You have to fail a certain amount of times. You have to not get picked up for certain gigs. You have to be told that we're overbooked and we can't get you to come play this month. You need that. It's going to happen. And the people that are like, oh, I couldn't get there because my bum knee, or like I didn't have the style of what they wanted. They were looking for something that, like, there's gonna be a million reasons to say no. It's how freaking bad do you want it? Go lose your mind. You have to figure out a way to muscle through it, and it gets so freaking hard. And I have plenty of times where I was ready to quit. I didn't, but I'm not gonna sit here and say I've been like bulletproof and I've been unwavered, but it's how bad you want it.
No, I'm sure there's times that, you get overwhelmed with what's going on and you kind of double think what's going on, but, keep going, and you got your number one cheerleader right there, so she won't let you you quit.
I got to buy her a couple houses, she said, so.
A couple of houses?
No, that was me. I said that.
Oh, he's
She wants to. I said I want to live in L.A. and East Coast and down in Nashville. I was like, I got to pay for these houses, so this music thing's got to work now.
There you go. Have you been down in Nashville too?
No, I've never been. I haven't even been to Tennessee. I went to school in North Carolina, so right on the edge, but I have not been there yet. So we're planning on like going down there. We don't have any set date.
You would fit in perfect down there. There is so much incredible talent on every corner. There are restaurant bars everywhere, and they're like 3 stories, and there's one musician is better than the next, and you would be one of those awesome musicians that would
hope so.
fit right in, and you never know who's in the crowd.
That's true.
So if you're playing in front of 5 people, you got to give it your go as if you're playing in front of 5,000 people.
Yeah. You've been there before? Do you live there for a little while? Or you just
I didn't live there, but I go down quite often. I'll be down in 2 more weeks.
Oh, nice. All right, so you're down regularly.
We'll talk about that after we get some good stuff going.
Heck yeah.
Career highlights. As of right now, what has been your biggest career highlight?
Career highlight. I mean, getting selected to The Voice was definitely a big one on paper. But as far as on paper achievements, it was definitely getting to the show. That was a big one. But career highlight, like favorite parts of my value attributed to it was, I remember playing at a local bar called Plum Island Grill, which no longer exists anymore, sadly. But I remember it was the first time I ever brought my dad up and played. I was like, Dad, we just played. He's a very meticulous over planner who just needs to be perfect with, he's 20 times the musician I will ever be. But again, I'm a lunatic and I just go out and play and I make mistakes a lot. And was like, I'll go for it. And I was like, no, we just played this the other day. So we played Pride and Joy at a gig. I was like, here, take the guitar, let's play. And we played to like a bunch of local guys that were like, the place was packed and we were always filling that place up. So I was like, Dad, come up and play a song. So as far as career highlight goes, in terms of happiness, I was like,
It's a special moment right there.
loved it. Yeah, that was a great time.
And I'm sure it was very memorable for him as well.
Yeah, he loved it. So now I gotta get him out to come play. I mean, if we do, that's one of the dreams. Is if I go out to like MSG or something like that, or playing at like amphitheater in Arizona, Wembley, just these gigantic stadiums. It's my dad. I'm like, you're playing piano, man. Get in there.
That'd be cool. So one of my questions was going to be about, do you come from a musical family?
Yeah.
And that's obviously how you got into it.
Yeah. So my dad played. I think he played trumpet first when he was like in high school, but he plays in guitar and piano incredibly well. Plays by ear. None of us, I shouldn't say none of us in the family. Him and I don't know how to read a lick of music, but my uncle's in a band. He's a bass player, and my grandmother has been a piano teacher for over, I think it's got to be like 50 years now. She was the high school music teacher. She went to Harvard for music in Bryn Mawr. She's highly, highly educated, and our house, their house as a kid was always filled with music, and our house was always filled with music. My dad always played to me like every night, playing James Taylor, and even on my other side of my family, my mom's side, my grandmother met my grandfather, and that side of the family is like heavy into the athletics and sports, which so is my dad's side of the family. But yeah, my mom's side, they met because he was a saxophone player in a band. And I didn't know that till I was like 20. So we have music on both sides to a certain extent, and I don't know life without music.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you know what else must be pretty cool is to look out into the crowd when you're playing.
Yeah.
And think, these people are paying their hard-earned money to see me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty damn cool when they're singing along to your songs and stuff like that.
It's crazy. Bruce Springsteen always said it's a magic act. You got to go up there and create something out of nothing, and it's so freaking hard to do, and it will not work a lot. But once you get the flow of it and it starts working, you see people like showing up and taking time out of their day to come see you sing, or they're like dancing at the place. Like it's a dead quiet room, and you can take that dead quiet room and me just slapping the crap out of this guitar. People start dancing. It's like the oddest. It's so odd. Like you think there's got to be music somewhere playing somewhere else. There's no way they're listening to me. But yeah, it's a very
Commanding the room. I mean, you did that very well up at the Idol. Either you had everyone involved, or you had the room completely hushed, which is also a huge compliment.
Yeah, it was great. I want to say I prepared really hard for that, but I just went by feel. I was like, I think this is the one to do, and everyone was awesome. It was great to have everyone be as compelled as they were during the whole competition. It felt like everyone in the audience and the judges too were so. It felt like they felt it as much as I did, and that's the best. When you feel it and you see other people, they're like closing their eyes and they get a gist of it. It just feels like magic. So it was awesome. I'm glad I was able to do that.
Yeah, fantastic. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So we're going to close out the show soon. And is there a song that you play that we're going to have you play, that a cover song that really gets the crowd going? One of your favorites to play to the crowds?
Depends on the day. I'd say my favorite to play is Tennessee Whiskey. I've always been a Stapleton guy, and that one's usually like a quick. There's some songs like the first note you sing that's like people are like, oh, thank you, I love that song. That one's mine. So
all right,
that's what I'm doing.
Let's do it. We will do Tennessee Whiskey with Jimmy MacWilliams.
Used to spend my nights out in the ballroom. Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottle, and you brought me back from being too far gone. Smooth as Tennessee whiskey, you're always sweet as strawberry wine. You're his arms clasp and honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. I'm looking for love in all the same old places, and the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, you didn't waste it, 'cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. Yeah, you're smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're his arms clasp and honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a clasp and honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. See, you're as smooth, oh, you're smooth, yeah, Tennessee whiskey, Tennessee whiskey. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, Tennessee whiskey.
All right, Musicians and Beyond with Jimmy MacWilliams. Make sure you go to www.jimmymacwilliams.com. Find out where he's going to be playing. You can even book him if you're having a wedding, a divorce party. I saw that in your thing. Anything. Any kind of gig that you need him, check him out. He's the real deal. And we like to think that people come in as acquaintances and leave as friends. So we want to thank you guys, both of you. Thanks for coming in and being our friend.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out here, and you guys gave me so much support throughout the whole process of the competition, so thank you, man.
It's our pleasure, and we're looking forward to seeing what's going on in the future, bro.
Sounds great, man. Thank you.